In 2022, in the quiet hills of Costa Rica, a young woman named Valeria Valverde set out on an ordinary bike ride. She was 21 years old, full of energy, laughter, and the small joys of everyday life. But in a sudden moment, her life changed. A terrible accident left her with a severe head injury. The impact was so devastating that doctors feared the worst. She was rushed to the hospital, where surgeons fought to relieve the swelling in her brain. Machines breathed for her. Wires and monitors tracked every fragile heartbeat. Her family watched helplessly as her body lay still, trapped between life and death. Doctors offered little hope. They warned that if Valeria survived, she might never speak, walk, or live as she once had. In the midst of their fear, her family turned to prayer. They prayed through the intercession of a young man who had captured the hearts of many across the world, Carlo Acutis. Carlo was only 15 when he died of leukemia in 2006, but he had lived with an extraordinary devotion to the Eucharist. He was a teenager of the digital age, called God's influencer, using technology to share his faith. For Valeria's family, Carlo's example was a light in their darkness. They prayed with urgency and trust, asking Carlo to intercede before God for their daughter's healing. That very same day, something remarkable began to happen. Valeria, who had lain unresponsive, began to breathe on her own. Soon after, her limbs stirred. Her voice returned. Against all medical expectation, she opened her eyes and spoke. Doctors were astonished. A CT scan revealed that the bleeding in her brain had stopped abruptly. Within 10 days, Valeria was moved out of intensive care. Her recovery, which should have taken months or years, unfolded with a speed and completeness that no medical explanation could account for. What had seemed like the end of her story became the beginning of something far greater. In July of that year, her case was presented to the Vatican. After careful investigation, it was declared a miracle, an act beyond human power, attributed to the intercession of Blessed Carlo Acutis. This recognition would become a milestone in Carlo's journey toward sainthood, making him the first millennial to be canonized by the Catholic Church. But beyond the declarations and ceremonies, at its heart, this story is about the mystery of grace. A young woman's life, fragile as a flame in the wind, was rekindled. A family's prayer, spoken through tears, was answered. And a boy who once loved computers and the Eucharist has become a bridge between heaven and earth for our own time. Today, Valeria lives as a witness to what faith can bring. Her story is not just about survival, but about hope, the kind of hope that tells us we are never truly abandoned, even in our darkest hours. And perhaps, as we reflect on her journey, we are reminded that miracles are not confined to the pages of history. They still unfold quietly among us, in hospital rooms, in whispered prayers, in lives touched by the unseen hand of God.